Hello, and thank you for clicking on my channel, Kelly Legends Media. Thank you to all the subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. There's no cost associated with joining the channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be notified when a new video drops, hit that notification bell up in the corner. Okay, so now let's see. Today's going to be a story. It's kind of a war story. Situation that took place when through gang violence we had lost the homies, right? Two homies. Yeah, two homies. So as I had mentioned in my other videos, Whittier Boulevard is just down the street from my neighborhood. And at the time it ran through the center of my neighborhood. Through negotiations now, it's a border of my neighborhood. In any case, we used to meet a lot of people on the boulevard. And sometimes we'd meet girls that, a certain group of girls that just would like to come down all the time, like on a regular, and party with us, Sometimes we'd party in the neighborhood. Sometimes we'd hit the boulevard. Sometimes we'd go to house parties. One of the spots that we frequented was Mike's Saloon. At the time, it was called Mike's Saloon. And right now, I think it's called Rudy's. It's behind the Pep Boys on Atlantic. In any case, we were too young to get into this bar. We weren't of age, right? But I knew the doorman, Cowboy. I don't know if any of you remember him. He usually wore a cowboy hat. Anyways, we called him Cowboy, right? And he was the bouncer. He was a security there. Well, more than a couple of times when he had problems there, we backed him up, We helped him bring back the peace to the bar, and kept the drunk asses. We'd kick them out, Whatever we needed to do to back up Cowboy, right? So we had carte blanche there, man. And Mike's Saloon was a popular place. It would usually have a line to get in, right? But when me and my homeboys would pull up, we either just walked to the front, or when he seen us coming, he'd be calling us to come to the front of the line, and he'd let us in front of everybody. He wouldn't cart us or anything. He already knew there was no point. We weren't supposed to be there, but he was cool with us, In any case, like I said, we'd meet certain people on the boulevard. Well, at this period of time, there was a certain group of girls that would come down to the neighborhood on the regular. And during that time, we lost these homies, right? So they pretty much went through it with us, They knew we felt the loss, They felt it too, even though they weren't from our neighborhood. In any case, the day of the wake and the funeral come, and we lay the homies to rest, right? So after all of that, we ended up at a homie's house in his backyard, right? We're kicking it, we're talking, drinking. And some of us got together way in the back of the yard, and we talked about what was going on and stuff. We did a toast to the homie, poured some out for him, for the homies. And there were different people there at that house. But when we went to the back of the yard, we made sure that there was only people from our neighborhood, And at the end of this gathering and, kind of a traditional ritual type of a final goodbye to the homies there in the neighborhood, we wanted to go and do something, And the girl at the time that owned the vehicle, she said, I'm gonna take you guys. And we're like, nah. She said, yeah, I'm gonna take you guys. I said, all right. So the other girls that came with her didn't go. Only one of them did. And there was I think about 5 of us. It was a small little truck, you know. And back then, you could ride in the bed of the truck. You know, it wasn't like now you got to wear a motorcycle helmet. You can't sit down in the back of a truck when it's on the road. You know, the law changed. But back then you could. So about 5 of us piled in the back of the truck, and I'm gonna say it like this: we were all, each and every one of us, prepared to wiggle. You know, we were equipped, let's say. And there we go, right? So we're telling this girl, and I'm gonna tell you about her at the end of this story. I would have even dedicated this video to her, except for the simple fact that I wouldn't want to dishonor her in any way, in case some of her families or friends from back then see this video. But she was very beloved. Anyway, so she was driving, right? And I was sitting like behind her in the bed, but I lean over and tell, okay, turn left here, turn off the lights, this and that. I was directing her, right? So I gotta admit, I made a bad call. I got this brilliant of a stupid idea to drive through the park where I knew they would kick it a lot, and it was already dark, right? I looked around. I didn't see no cops, no police, no curas, whatever, you know. I'm like, all right, fuck it, turn in here. So we turned into the park. Well, the park has this walkway that runs all through the middle of it. It's a big park. It goes from one street all the way to the other side of the street, to the other side of the block. It encompasses that whole block practically, except for a school and some houses on both sides of it. But it's a long park, you know, and it has this you could call it a road, right? But it's really intended for a sidewalk that goes like this all the way through the park, you know, one end to one end. So we pulled in there. We have the lights off, and you know, she's just letting the car pretty much just move, you know. We're not making noise with the motor hauling ass. We're being quiet, kind of sneaking through the park in the vehicle. It's nighttime, and it's dark, okay? And we got I would say about a quarter of the ways in. And then you see them coming, man. When they came into the park, there was 2 Monterey Park police cars, and they came in coming from opposite directions, and both turned in, and they both have their lights on, you know. Like, son of a man. The Juras, come on, let's go, take off. And they're punching it, man. They're trying to catch us. They're trying to catch up. So she stomps on it, man. And now we're going through the park, right? And we had to hold on because it goes, you know, it has these dips, you know. So every once in a while, man, we'd catch air, you know, sitting in the back of the truck. We'd come up off of our asses, you know. We had to really hold on. But she's punching it, trying to get away, trying to get to the other side of the park, you know. And they're getting closer and closer, right? So I tell my homies, I said, hey, homie, when I give the signal, we're all gonna throw the toys out of the back of the truck at the same time. You know, be ready. So on one of the bumps, now, boom, we threw everything we had out both sides of the truck, right? And we're still going. We come out the other end of the park, and we're on the street, and she makes a right turn. And there's another Monterey Park police coming down the street already. The two that were coming after us in the park are now three, and we're taking off, and she's gonna make a left turn going back into my neighborhood, right? We could see a police car coming from in front of us down the street towards us. We see his lights. So we definitely need to make a right or a left. If we would have turned right, that's kind of a different territory. If we turn left, that's our backyard. We know where if we have to jump out and run or whatever, we have a better chance of getting away, even driving, you know? In any case, when she makes that left, there's already a roadblock. The LA County sheriffs blocked the street, you know, and they were off their cars, you know, they had rifles and stuff, you know. And when we turned, we were coming over the, what overpass is that? The Pomona Freeway overpass, okay? We're driving over the Pomona Freeway on Mednick, and we're blocked. So I knew that during that time it was grad night. They were having grad night, you know, where if you graduate from high school, you go to Disneyland as a graduate, and you know it's grad night. So I told everybody in the hey man, say we went to grad night and we were just fooling around, that it was a dare, that I go, hey man, I just tell them I dared you to drive through the park. That's all it is. All right. So they get us and they separate us and they're questioning us, and we're dressed up. You know, we're dressed nice because we came from a funeral and a wake, right? And they questioned us for a while, and they let us go. You know, they let us free to battle another day. You know. Well, there still was a problem of all of those toys that were sitting in the park, right? So at that time, I had a pad in LA, and we all went over there. We kicked back. We had a couple of drinks, you know, did whatever we were doing, and then two of us jumped in a car, me and somebody else, and we went back to go collect those things, you know. So I remember when I had said to throw them, I kind of like lined myself up, you know, with the obstacles and the trees and the buildings, you know, so that I could come back and kind of triangulate more or less where we were, right? So yeah, we parked and we sneaked back into the park walking, right? It was still dark. In fact, by the time we went back, it was early morning hours, you know, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, right? So we creeped back in the park, and yeah, we got back all of our toys, you know. We were very fortunate, and we went back to the homies and handed back everybody their stuff, you know. And of course, you know, this story is highly censored, you know, but it was a wild night, you know. That little clip it's kind of a little bit of the adventure, you know. And this went on for some time, you know. We're really upset and hurt about what happened to these two homies. Nevertheless, Christina, the driver, okay, very beautiful young lady. Christmas time came along, and she was over here in the neighborhood with us, kicking it, you know, and she went home. Well, what turned out is, being that it was cold, it was Christmas time, she turned on the heater, but the pilot was off. And she didn't stay there to hear it light. She just turned it on the way she usually did. She went to bed. And she passed away in her sleep with the gas. So we lost Christina. She wasn't from my neighborhood, and you know, it just wasn't that type of relationship with us, you know. But she liked us. She cared for us. You know, she had love for us, and she was down for us. You know, and she did her thing with us. You know, I'll never forget her. And salute to her. You know. Anyways, thank you for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I can't get it more into, you know, the night, but that's just a little something, you know, I want to share. You know, it was pretty crazy. It was fun, you know, and yeah, you know, we lost Christina, but may she rest in peace. Thank you for watching the video. Let's take away from this that situations like this can end up in a really bad way from people on both ends of that firearm, you know, and there's always the possibility of going to prison, you know, for a very long time. So let's make good choices, good decisions, and God forbid, you know, you put yourself in that situation. If you're not already involved, I'd suggest you don't get involved. Live your life, go to school, get a career, and live life. There's a lot of beautiful things out here. I wish I would have learned that lesson when I was younger. Maybe I wouldn't have suffered so much. Nonetheless, thank you for watching. Hope to see you on the next video. God bless you, each and every one of you, and your families. Thank you very much.